Hi, welcome to Arizona Highland Homestead. Today we're talking about elderberry cuttings. So I had put up a video talking about how we had 17-degree weather here in the mountains of Arizona and was asking for your help. So I appreciate the help that I got from some people. It helped me to search YouTube actually for some elderberry cuttings and videos on propagation. So I found some of those. There's a few of them in the description below, so check on those. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions about how to propagate elderberries, let us know and fill you in with any answers that we have. We'll share our journey with this as well. So some future videos, hopefully we'll put some links in the description below in the future to let you know how this project is going. So with that, let's take a look at what you will need to propagate your elderberry. Here we go. Alright, so here we go. Here are the supplies you're going to need for your cuttings. So first off, you're going to need a good set of clippers. So these are just some ones from Fiskars that we got long ago. Any clippers will do, but you're going to want some that will be able to cut off branches about as thick as a finger. So then you're also going to need some Dormant Spray. This is really just mineral oil, and it's got some inert ingredients as well, some emulsifier to just liquefy it and make it so that it sticks to your branches, kind of like soap would. So mineral oil works, or you can also use like sesame seed oil. I've heard that works well also for the dormant oil. And this is also for fruit trees, flowering shrubs, basically anything that goes deciduous that you want to keep pests and things off of. This is helpful for that. So you're going to need that. You're also going to need some isopropyl alcohol, and what that's for is just cleaning off your blades. So I won't show that step, but you're going to need a paper towel as well just to clean off the blades and sterilize them. So go ahead and do that first. Then you're also going to need a mason jar or some vessel. It'd be better if this was opaque, kind of like the Dormant Spray. So if you have a bottle like this that's opaque, or maybe even a hydrogen peroxide bottle, that would probably be good. And if you have a wider mouth jar, the better. So you could even use something like this bucket. But you will need some type of vessel to also mix the Dormant Spray or the sesame seed oil or any other kind of dormant oil in a bucket of water. And I'll show you what to do with that in just a minute. Alright, let's take a look at how we take these cuttings. Alright, so we got Scout the cattle healer here to help us. He's actually just munching on some of the cover crop grasses that are still up. What's up, Scout? You want to say hi to everyone? He's just about the best farm dog we could ever ask for. We love Scout. He's very protective. But we just cleaned off these Fiskars pruners, and they're clean. They might not look super clean, but the idea isn't to get them very clean, it's to get them very sterile, so that when we make these cuts, we're not introducing any infection to the plant nor the cuttings. So what I heard was that you want to, you can do this when they're dormant as well, or when they're not dormant. So what I heard was best was to get cuttings of the new growth. So from this year, hopefully you guys can see that. Got the light balance working out here for us. So let's see. So what you wouldn't want to do, I guess, is take the older cuttings, but take these newer cuttings, and you can see like this one here is from just this year, and then these side shoots too, you could also take those. And so we got this side shoot here, we got this one here, this one here. So you could take those. I'm gonna go and try to get I think I'm gonna get this one in here, and then this will give us multiple cuttings. So I'll show you guys how to do that once I take these cuttings. But basically what you want to do is you want to get it all the way back to where you can't hang a hat on it. So you can see back in there, get it all the way back there. So that's one branch that we can use. Let's see, I'm going to try to get some of these that are kind of going out and being a little bit more leggy. But all of this year's growth is kind of what we're looking for. So we've got one down in here I'm going to get as well. So you want to get them kind of as low to the ground as you can from what I heard. And get this one as well, I think. Right in here. These ones are kind of shorter and thinner, but you can get them really big and thick. So go ahead and do that. I think I'll get this one here as well. This one's not looking, it's just looking kind of crowded right there. So depends on really what you want your elderberry bush to look like next year. So think like a bonsai gardener, I guess, as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get this branch off of this one here as well. So let's see if I can get the camera in here or not. Might focus. There we go. Alright. So I've got a few to start with. This one's kind of on the ground. Kind of got broken right here. So I think I'll take that one as well. Alright, that should do it for this first experiment. Oh, you know what? I see one more over here. It's kind of laying on the ground, kind of spread out. So this one right here could be taken. So I'm going to go way back in here. Let's see if I can get this one back on the ground. You know what? That one's not going to be the best spot. Get right here and bloom again. See all these buds here? We got these little buds. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but we got a bud there, bud there, bud there. These are all so close together. I'm going to cut it right here. So now all those can develop as new shoots. You know what, this one's kind of coming down too. I'm realizing there's a lot that I can cut, and this plant's going to be a super bush again next year. So I'm just trying to think ahead. Alright, that's enough for now. Alright, so this Dormant Spray, it says to use about 3 tablespoons per gallon for ornamentals. We're going to just use a couple tablespoons of this in just this little bit of water that we have here. So we'll just put a few tablespoons in there, and then I'll show you how we cut all these up into cuttings. Alright, so you can see we put a couple tablespoons in here. When you stir it up, you can see that emulsifier bubbles up a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's see, might be a little too bright. Anyway, there's some bubbles on the surface there. Alright, so this one's not very great. This one doesn't have a real woody structure on the outside yet. It doesn't have the bark, really. You can see up top a little bit here, it does. But down below it doesn't too much. You see these kind of pores on the bark here? That's That's good. You want that. So, and then this one's a little bit too woody probably, from what I saw people showing. But we'll take one like this and show you. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to gather up these pieces that are like-sized, both in the length here between the nodes and also the thickness. So right here, what we want to do is we want to cut the bottom part here at a 45-degree angle right below one of these buds here. And then above the next one, we want to just cut it flat off. All right. And so then you trim off this excess stuff that you're not going to use here. This actually could be another cutting here, so I'm trying to cut it below there. And if you've got some leaves on the buds, on these nodes, so to speak, you can cut the ones off the bottom ones. And you can leave some on the top, but I wouldn't leave all of them. I'd cut this here like this, something like that. And then this other one on their side, that's not really anything. So I'm just going to cut off. That could actually be a cutting if you had some leaf on it. All right, but this is kind of what we're looking for. So this shows you which direction the plant was growing. This is the bottom that's angled at 45, and the flat cut off at the top is the top. All right, so then you throw those in your bucket over here with the dormant spray in it. All right, we're going to do that a bunch. All right, so here's another one that we're going to do, and this one's a little bit weird. It's got a few different branches on it, as you can see. So we cut this one below, right? So that was the top of the previous one. So then right here, we want this to be where the roots will come out of this budding area here, this node. So cut it at 45. And then this one here could be its own. So I'm going to cut that as well, cut it at 45 later on that end. But right now, that's pretty much ready to go. I could cut it up into some other smaller ones, but I think I'd like to leave it this way. So I'm going to cut off most of these leaves because that will prevent it from having to transpire through all of these leaves, and it'll make more leaves as these buds come out, right? So I'm just going to cut off most of these, and we'll just leave a few leaves on it like that. All right, actually we could even cut some of these off too, some of these bigger leaves, so that it doesn't have to transpire as much. All right, there we go, and into the bucket. All right, and once you get them out of the bucket, once you have them in here, you know, they'll be soaking in here and getting that mineral oil on them, the dormant spray. So if they've been in there for a little bit, then you just bring them out, set them somewhere to dry. All right, so now we have all of these cuttings here, as you can see. They're drying right now, but you basically just want the oil to dry onto these cuttings. So you can see these ones are all pretty much similar in size. You can see my fingers are kind of oily from dipping into the dormant spray mix I made up, but see, like this one's a little bit smaller, and these are all roughly the same height. That's probably a little bit more important, and some of them are going to have leaves attached, some of them not. In your area they may have went dormant already. I hear the best time to do this is in very late winter, very early spring, maybe February or March. And you can take these once they dry and put them straight into the ground. So make a little hole, make it so that these nodes here, this bottom part where the buds are, is at least 2 inches underneath the soil. And then if you are still expecting frost or freeze in your area, make sure that you insulate them with some mulch, some straw, something of that nature, to give those roots some good insulation. But basically you want these to go into the ground when the ground's going to remain moist. So if you have any moisture in the soil and you plan to for a while, you're good to go. Otherwise, what you can do, I'm just going to do this temporarily. These aren't quite dry yet, but you just take one of these with the point side down. Remember, that's the one that you cut at the bottom, and just throw them into a mason jar. Make sure that that node those buds are underneath the water and stay underneath the water. That's an important part of this. And then after about a month, you should start seeing roots. From what I hear, and you want to continue to refresh that water. So if it evaporates out, you want to add some more in, and if the water starts getting cloudy or anything like that, you definitely want to dump it out and put some more in there. But yeah, give it about 4 weeks and let me know what your results are. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial on how to make elderberry cuttings. Hopefully you guys will go and propagate a whole bunch more elderberries from your yard and maybe even pass them on to people. I know people ship them through orders on the web, so you can find them probably on Facebook Marketplace or other people's websites. And if you need some, hit us up. We might have some available for you. Well, I'm Nick from Arizona Highland Homestead. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have more videos for you real soon.